Welcome once again to another episode of Talk, Share and Inspire. In this place, we are here to have solutions. We have so many problems that are affecting the young people, but we are here to find solutions to those very problems. My name is Erica Okeo, and I'm going to be your host once again for this session. There's this Bible verse that I once encountered that was very thought-provoking. The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 2 says, invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. Wow, that the Bible admonishes us to invest in 7 ventures and actually adds another one, 8, because we do not know what disaster might come upon the land. With the times you are living in are very risky. The economy is really hard. So it is prudent for you to spread your income, not just to have one source of income. Of course, we have the admonition, but then we want to find out, how do you successfully spread your ventures? So today's conversation is going to be centered around diversifying your income streams. I am joined with my very able guests who have hacked diversifying their income streams, and they are going to tell us how they did it and how you can also do it. So yeah, allow me to introduce once again my friends. Right now I call them my friends because I'm having them again for the second time. Yes, starting with you. How are you once again?
Fine, thank you.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Sharon.
Yes. Yeah, you are welcome, Sharon. Karibu is how we say welcome in Swahili. Yes. So let's go right into it. Sharon, what do you understand by diversifying your income streams? What does that look like for you?
I think it's in the name itself. Having multiple streams of income. Yeah, having more than one stream of income.
Okay. So how do I practically create more than one stream of income? Look at me. I have a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
Okay. And not just the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
My whole life is my whole life
Your
is
life
my
is
work.
packed,
Okay. For me to get to work at 9, I have to leave my house at 6. There's traffic.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I have to get there at 9. Then when I get home, I leave my workplace at 5. By the time I get home, it's 7 p.m.
Yeah.
I need to prepare supper. Let's say I have a family, and then I also need to sleep early. So what time am I going to diversify my
Your
income streams?
income,
Yeah.
I think it would depend on person to person and the type of skill that you have.
Okay.
So I would say, so for example, you're working as a teacher, say a physical education teacher, and you have your work cut out for you from Monday to Friday, but you still have the skills of like physical education, personal training, those sorts of things. Yeah, so you can organize boot camps for weekends. Yeah, because you can't do that over during your 9 to 5. You can organize boot camps either in the evenings, say from 6 to 7:30. You train people, then they have a subscription or a registration fee, if you're not able to show up every week or show up every day after work, you can have it on a monthly basis, on a bi-weekly,
Wow.
Yeah, so I feel like depending on your skill,
Okay.
it doesn't have to be running concurrently with your main job. You can space it out.
So you can utilize your skill to diversify your income
Exactly.
stream.
Exactly.
Okay, how about you, Sam?
Just to add on what she has mentioned, it would boil down to you first knowing yourself. I mean, if you are 8 to 5 person, then even in terms of diversification, there are things that you can diversify into. If you're a business person and probably you have the luxury of time and space to do other things, then there are also some extremes that you can go to. So I think over and above the skills is you identifying who am I and what does my day-to-day main source of income look like. Once you do that, then you're able to know what is the right space to diversify into your income.
So I can still diversify my income stream even if I'm in entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So I identify the skills that I currently possess, and then also getting to know myself. Yeah. Now I want us to go more practical.
Yeah.
How have you guys diversified your income streams?
They are the common ones that we all know. the money markets, where you're able to put some money.
Maybe it's not so common. Tell us about it.
Okay. The money markets are, for instance, people who take your money, invest, and give you at some interest percentage annually. But then the money is credited to your account on a monthly basis. So makes it around, it will probably be, I think majority are running now between 10 to 15%. So depending on the percentage, then you know how much monthly you can be able to get. That's, I call it the lazy one. If you
because I'm just depositing the money.
Yes, especially would work if you are 8 to 5 person. The you that you've described where you have to wake up very early, go back home really late. So that's a lazy option of you diversifying. I mean, there's also the other aspect that I can decide to go farming. If you have the passion again, passion has to drive you, because farming most of the time would collapse. I personally
Farming. Oh yeah, you're going there.
Yeah, so I have tried, not farming, it wasn't farming, but I've tried to diversify my sources of income by investing in a bakery. And it sank over 6 million of my money. So diversifying does not necessarily mean that there will be a positive outcome at the end of the day. So there are instances when it will sink your money. It's still a risk. So that's why we say there's the lazy one and there's the extreme one. You identifying yourself and your capacity to take the risk. You see, if 6 million is all I had between me and death, then I'll probably be dead. You see, so you must identify what are the potential that you exhibit as a person. Over and above that, I think there are several other ways. I mean, even social community is diversifying of income.
Tell us about that.
I mean, if you are able to invest actively in your community, there are days that you're definitely going to need them. It might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but people will come to your aid based on how you've invested in that source of income as well.
I did not. I never thought about it like that. Now, probably when we talk about oiling friendship, we will see income plays a role.
It does.
Sharon, have you diversified your income? What other things have you tried?
So at the beginning, when I started TSI by Sharon, I was still a data analyst. So I was still doing freelance data analyst gigs on the side. Because the TSI by Sharon work hadn't gotten that much to the point where I still had time to do other things. So now when things became more serious on the business side, I no longer had time to be able to do a good job of data analysis. So I opted to, because I design a lot of the designs that we have on the t-shirts. I was like, what if I sell these designs? So there are platforms that exist like Redbubble, Etsy, where you can sell digital products. So I make the designs, sell them in digital format, and I don't have to police that business. So people can buy when I'm not there. I just come and say, someone has bought. Yeah.
So e-commerce is one way.
So e-commerce,
someone can take advantage of.
You can take advantage of platforms that you can sell digital products, because digital products I think it's a good idea because you don't have to have capital to do most of this to sell digital products.
All right. Okay, that's nice. I've seen a lot of online products. For example, I've seen online shops that allow you to make an online product and go with it. Maybe we might not really have time to get into that, but as we've said, identify the skills that you have, because your skill will determine the kind of online products that you sell, right? For example, let's say you are a personal trainer, you're very passionate about things to do with nutrition or gymming. So someone can, for example, create, I'm thinking of why is it disappearing? I am thinking of this thing that you use when you want to eat.
No.
Not a timetable.
Meal plan.
Yes, you can create meal plans and sell them. So it's you getting to know what skills you have and how to go about it.
And again, in the era of AI, AI is enabling a lot of stuff. You can even be able to be a content creator on
using
YouTube
AI.
effortlessly. I mean, you just need to probably devote 1 hour or so, and you have a whole content on YouTube. If you have valuable content, then sooner than later it starts generating you some income.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So guys, maybe the other thing we should talk about, how what motivated you to diversify your income streams?
Well, they say you should never have all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in fact, you need to be worried when one income stream is doing extremely well
And then
and you're over relying on it.
Yeah.
You know, at that moment, when you have some money lying idle, then you must start thinking on what else do I do? Because when you spread and you don't know what else you're missing out on until you try it. So it does not necessarily mean that it will have a positive outcome, but then keep on trying. So as long as you have money, you can only build wealth by reinvesting in several avenues. You cannot have one stream and say that you are looking at having financial freedom. You can never.
You can never with one income
No,
stream.
it's impossible.
I mean, the Bible tells us you do not know what disaster
Yes,
might
will
come
strike.
upon them.
Yeah. What is doing so well today might
Might
sink
not.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have something else elsewhere, then you also sink with it. Yeah.
Have you tried diversifying your income stream? Have you tried probably having more than one business or a full-time job and something on the side? How was that for you? Please, share with us. Share with us. We'd like to know how that went. And maybe this is the time to actually talk about the challenges that you encountered when you diversified your income streams. Maybe starting from, I remember you lost 6 million. Sorry about that.
Before we get to the 6 million, I probably would want to highlight the aspect where I was having a full-time job and setting up a business as well. So you realize even your own personal time is constrained.
You know what? I actually relate to that.
Yeah.
There's a time I tried to set up 2 income streams at the same time,
Yes.
and one flopped.
Yes. So you realize you must find a balance on how to balance the two so that your employer again does not miss out on what they're paying you for, but also your business, which is ideally what might sustain you for longer and give you the freedom to have a few coins here and there to spare, also does not die. So you must find a common balance and try to run them together. But it's extremely difficult because you must deny yourself some things. I mean, you must deny yourself some luxuries because while others probably say from your salary you'll have like 10,000 left that your friends will go have partying with and everything, you must deny yourself some of these things and realize this 10,000 has to go down this route. And you must start it at a young age because then you'll reap it. When your friends who've been spending their 10,000 will not have anything to look at, you'll have so much to now even enjoy the money.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of denying yourself. There's a lot of spending extra hours because you must, over and above the 8 to 5 from your employer, you have probably another 5. There are days I used to leave my private office at midnight and this is the time everyone is asleep. So you must deny yourself some luxuries.
Wow, okay, yes. How about you, Sharon?
I think he's mentioned something on starting young. I think it's important to start young because the older you get, you can't afford to take as many risks as you could as a young person. So when you say you're single and you have nothing to lose, you're single and attached, no kids, nothing, you're able to take this risk so that if it doesn't work out, as you're trying out different things, if it doesn't work out, you can always bounce back. But say you're in your late 30s, you have kids, you have a family, there's so much to lose that you can't afford to take risks and fail. So you'd feel the burden or the weight of the risk would be so heavy on you when you're older because you have so much to lose. So if at a young age you're able to start young, please start young so that you try out different things to see what exactly clicks and what works.
You've already gone to the strategy.
We were
trying to look at the challenges.
Students.
You've gone ahead of the teacher because you're trying to see the challenges and Sam has mentioned it very well. There was a lot of sacrifice that is involved. You have to set out time, even money that you'd have used for
other things,
for something else. And then also I'm thinking another challenge that might come with it is the risk of failing. You actually risk failing. There is no surety that this thing is going to work, right? But someone once told me, you'd rather years down the line, you'd rather sit down and say, I tried that and it failed, than rather I did not do it at all. Yes, because most of us, one of the challenges, something that really, one thing that I'd say the devil has maximized on is fear. A lot of us fear trying new things. You'd I'd rather stay comfortable. You know, if my 9 to 5 is working for me,
paying me.
why am I stressing myself with selling digital products, for example? Because it's actually not easy. I have tried creating a digital product, for instance. I'm very passionate about meal plans. I just like things things to do with nutrition or skills, like anything that will be used to upskill someone. Yeah, but learning those things is not easy. And sometimes it's very easy for you to go with what is easier to do, and what is easier to do is not to do it at all.
Exactly.
But remember, yes, go some.
Just to demystify that, everyone, there is a space for everyone to diversify. No one should miss to diversify. That's why I say there are what we would call the lazy diversification,
Options,
and there is the extreme end. So just find your space. I mean, if I'm comfortable and I don't want any risk, I mean, the money market funds are the easier option. You're sure you'll always get your money within 48 hours if you want to get it back. And you'll still have some interest, even if it's 100 shillings. It's money you didn't have. So it's the lazy way. But then there are those who go the extreme way of investing a 6 million in things.
There are those
yes. There are those ones. So depending on the risk you're willing to take, I would say no young person should just sit idle, whether working or not, by the way. Even if it's just your pocket money from school, you are able to find your 1,000 and put it in money market somewhere. And say, me, I'm too lazy. I don't want anything that requires my mind to think or my hands to do something. But still, everyone should have a revenue generating source. And in today's world, global village, there is just so much
you can do.
Be able to
You know, I love, the reason why I love this aspect of, because the other thing I wanted us to talk about, there's the big ones, investment, bonds and whatnot, but I'm just
Shares.
thinking of someone
The
who's
small
just
things.
starting small,
Yes.
right? And I love the fact that when it comes to money market funds, you can deposit as little as 1,000 Kenya shillings, or
and still,
you know, equating it, that's how many dollars? Maybe like $10.
$10.
And you can use money market funds, and as we've said, you can identify some of the skills that you have. If you love cooking, you can make some bites and snacks to sell to the people you work with, you know, the people you go to church with. There's always something that
And
you
by
can
the
do.
way, before you even get to the selling, especially for the snacks, now that you're using that as an example, is start by, are you willing to make it and carry it to church even for free? And people enjoy it on the Sabbath. Because that is your investment in that income generating avenue. So
It's
once
like I
people
want
enjoy
to
it,
get people to trust
Exactly.
me that I'm doing a good thing. Then
and then somebody will say, oh, why don't you deliver to me on a Monday?
Wow.
I like
So then you're able to start generating your income.
I think also, especially if you want, there's some business ideas that don't even require capital. I started with no capital. It was you pay for your item, a deposit for your item. That's what we use to produce your item. We send it over to you.
So we don't need capital.
You don't need capital. And then now I pocket now the profit. So there are some business ideas that don't require profit. I mean capital to start. And then there are others that require, as long as you have the skill. So for example, say you're good at team building. You're good at capacity building.
Why are you talking about?
Let me talk to you directly. So for the people that are able to do team building and capacity building, those things do not require like tangible capital. So you can organize events where you showcase your skills in the spirit of letting people see what you're capable of doing. And then now you start with now charging people, having subscriptions, having registrations here and there. Those are things that don't require you to have actual like capital. Of course, there are some overhead charges that if you want to start small, you can start without, you can leave those aside until you establish, then you now bring them in. So there are some things, there's some skills that you can sell and will save you from having to have capital to start. So for people that don't have the money to start, are looking for a business idea and they don't have money for it, they can look at how they can sell their skills instead. Because product-based businesses are more expensive to start than skill-based service businesses.
Right? I'm thinking of somebody who is, for example, just good at teaching children or making people happy, right? You begin by volunteering your skills. Before you know it, you are trustworthy. The next time their company is looking for an MC, they give you a call.
They look for you.
That is very, very important for us to mention. So let's go to the strategies. What are some of the strategies that you would advise someone who is looking at us right now and they're like, you know what, this is the time. This is the message I needed to start diversifying my income streams. What would you tell them?
They need to, one, again, we'll go back to them identifying themselves. They need to know who they are and what is their financial capacity and what risk are they willing to take. Once they take it, if you have a partner, then your partner also plays a critical role. Are they willing to cheer you on, or your partner is not that type of a person? So if you're a young person, a youth, I mean, even diversification determines what kind of a partner you're going to get. Okay, so you must be very particular on what crowd do you want around you.
Do we always have to have partners? Can I do it alone?
You can do it alone, but remember, even when you're doing it alone, your partner has a direct influence on how far you can go. If you have a partner who just wants to spend, then they're always going to drain you, even when you need to be investing. So the people around you, including family, they have an effect on how much you can invest. If tomorrow you went and say, hey, I have 6 million, I want to put in a bakery, and everything is just negative around you, you will not take that leap of faith.
So it's very important for me to also see who am I surrounding myself with.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then as you be very sure about, you can never be 100% sure on this avenue, but be willing to lose the money. Be willing to lose it.
Okay.
Before you think of what you're going to get out of it, be willing to lose it. And say, if I lost it, life would not stop.
Okay. So that aspect of overcoming fear and being willing to know that this one can go south and it's okay. I remember one time I invested a lot of money. Okay, it was not a lot, but to me that
It was
it's not 6 million, but it was a lot. I invested, to learn a new skill that would help me create those digital products. It did not go anywhere. And then I told myself, just the same thing that I mentioned. It was better that I tried to see that this is not something that was actually suited
I think
for me.
before you proceed, I would also want to mention that do not over-diversify as well.
What is that exactly?
Do not feel strained. Do not be a slave to your income diversification avenues. That every coin, your money comes in, if it's 10,000, all of it goes and you remain you look like you're really suffering. Do not be a slave to you, then it becomes a burden to you. You might die of hunger, yet you have several investments that haven't been done. Just know to what extent it needs to. The Bible cautions us to, you shouldn't overdo anything. You need to be people of moderation.
We do everything with moderation. Sharon, are there any strategies that you'd like to share for anyone who's thinking of diversifying their income streams?
I would say start small. Start small, so that you also avoid the over diversification that Sam has mentioned.
So we can't. You're like 10,000.
Don't like you see now after this session. Maybe someone says like, oh, this is what I needed to hear, and then they set out to look for 10 ventures they can go into at once,
because the Bible says
look for 7, 5, 8. So
they're like, let me do 10.
So maybe you can start with 2 and then see how it goes. Then add very gently in a way that seems organic or feels organic. So that you don't, you can be in security, you can be in farming, you can be in baking,
in capacity
you can
building.
in capacity building. You're also a florist on the side and you're a baker as well. It can also drain you, because remember, you're only one person. There's only so much you can do as a person. So you can be managing your time well in your main business, but then you're suffering in the others. So maybe it's start very gently and build organically. And then if you can have things that are in the same, space, the better. So for example, Sam is a security expert. He sells the tangible, the tangible product, but then you can also have a side hustle as a consultant, as a security consultant or a cyber security consultant.
You just got another
income. So if you can have maybe even 3 business ideas or 3 diverse income sources within the same space, the better, because it will be a bit more gentler on you. So you'll be doing you're doing your 9 to 5 or your main business, but then you're also a consultant on the side that has a bit more flexible time, and then also maybe you're selling a product related to what you trained for.
Oh wow.
So you are having multiple sources of income, but within the same realm.
Oh, wow.
So that you're not in farming, you're not in security, you're in travel, you're in tours, and you have it can it can overwhelm you.
Oh,
yeah.
But also, don't take from what is working. Don't overdraw from what is working to invest in what you're not yet sure about.
Yeah.
Because that will cripple. And when investing, don't take too much time, don't take too much finances. If it's your employer, don't now give them only 1 hour out of the
Jeopardize.
8 working hours.
Yeah.
Remember, you could be fired while the others are still not working.
Yes,
So where would you be at the end of the day? It's not useful. If you're a business person and this business is currently doing well, don't withdraw from that account to
try
invest
and-
in others.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I love that. And maybe something else that we should talk about from how you have seen life in Africa or even globally. What are some industries that you think have potential that can provide opportunities for someone who wants to diversify their income streams?
I'll talk about the digital world. It's globally. Today, there is a lot people are able to do. I mean, as simple as just the Excel.
Yeah.
Excel can earn you serious money today online. You can become a data analyst by just understanding Excel, and you need not to pay any fees to learn it. There's a lot of content online for free, and you just need to take your time and invest. If you invest 2 months of your time, then you'll be a professional, and you can earn so much money with Excel alone. You're able to, I mean, the way we talked about content creation, all these are in the digital world. I say the digital space, you're able to make a breakthrough. It's a space to look at.
All right,
Yeah.
awesome. So maybe to you, Sharon, something as you give us your parting shot.
Okay.
Yes.
So my parting shot would be, please start small and ensure as you're starting, please look for a gap. Don't just start something don't reinvent the wheel. If there's no need for what you're bringing in, don't put a lot of energy into it.
All right.
Diversifying God by tithing.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, diversifying God
yeah.
by tithing. I pray that the Lord will give you wisdom to show you what exactly you can earn from if you diversify your income. God bless you. See you in another episode of TSI.